So I was going to say, all right, ladies and gentlemen, and then I thought, well, maybe it's just lady and gentlemen, but then I realized that I think I've got more than one lady, so ladies and gentlemen is appropriate, so I'm going to keep to it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to part 2 of Sunday Fun. I'm on my way to my parents' property. They've got what Tex would probably think laughable. They've got 5 acres. They've got 5 acres of field that I'll be cutting this morning, and I'm still not set up good to make recordings. Man, I just don't know. Going back to Tex, I mean, you had kindly asked for me to do just some hunting video. I post my little snippets. I know you'd love to have me mounted on my bow and have an impact shot, but for those of you in the review, the reason I don't do that is I hunt in Florida on private property, and as a result, whenever you post a video or broadcast a video, it goes to people who hunt in all different zones. And in case some of you didn't know, there's different laws regarding hunting in different areas. In Florida, as an example, it's as close to the Wild West as you can get without being Texas. I think it's only Texas that really outdoes us with how liberal the hunting can be. Basically, I'm allowed to hunt a lot closer to an artificial food source than a lot of people would understand. So if I'm showing you imagery from my weapon, like a weapons perspective, a first-person weapon perspective, and one of the people in the viewership sees the artificial food source, I just honestly don't want to fucking hear about it. I don't have the time nor the inclination to debate the finer points of game management. It's I'll do it briefly here. It's different zones, I think, have different requirements for how game gets managed. If say in the case of Tex, if you're up in Illinois and there's cornfields all around you and the deer are nothing more than a nuisance, you're in a very different situation than if you are in say a 50-acre parcel in between 2 subdivisions. How you manage and cultivate that harvest is going to be a very different scenario. So it's not a discussion that can be had off the cuff. You're not going to get anywhere, because some people who are against artificial food sources, they use arguments such as CWD, chronic wasting disease, which, the idea is that because you have an artificial food source, you artificially accumulate a herd of animals, okay? And when you artificially accumulate a herd of animals, they may stay at a feeding location for too long and actually ingest some of their own fecal matter or ingest the fecal matter of other critters in their herd. So sickness that would otherwise be mitigated would just be spread. And that argument is valid, 100% valid. But I think it's valid in a vacuum, So I just don't want to fucking hear it. So I will, in addition to saying so at least 20 more fucking times in this video, so I will say so, because does your mother so? We'll tell her to so this. I'll do my best to make more videos, but it's going to be more akin to what I've posted in the past. I thought about maybe getting a chest rig for my phone, but I've also got I just bought a new holster that I'm going to be working with for the first time next weekend when the Sarge and I go up to do some more property maintenance. So I'll have, if all goes well, if all goes as planned, I'll have you some woods video next weekend. Now, the Sunday fun would actually be a little late because we're doing we're getting up there, going up Friday night, and then gonna wake up early. Say start at the plan is to start at 6 a.m. or at first light, and then work until 11 until it gets hot, because it's been cracking 100, 105 degrees in our area pretty regularly. And to get the amount of work done, my theory is that we can do more in 5 hours of cool over the course of 2 days, like 10 hours. So Vin and me together, that's 20 man hours altogether in the cool, versus trying to push through too much and then not be worth a shit the second day. You know, it's my theory. We'll see how it goes. But this year, they were going to be harvesting the pines on the old side. I'll try to next time I'm doing a trail video, I'll point out, hey, whether or not I'm on the old side versus the new side. But they're really close to pulling the pines down on the old side. So we got all the stands and equipment pulled out of the old side, only to find out that our forester's not going to be harvesting. So got a lot of work to do setting back up over there, and not to mention having everything in such a way that we can pull it off. There's a pig trap over on that side still, at a different location, and yeah, should be good stuff. I want to have one more part on today's, because I don't really know what you would really consider this part two. Maybe the hunting, a little bit of a hunting pew-pew wrap, although there's no pew-pew involved. More like hunting and tractor wrap. So let me finish this up with a tractor wrap. We're also going to be picking up the field tractor from there, so I can bring it up to the property. But we didn't initially expect to have to use the box blade, but another member of the club's bringing another trailer into the main camp, so we still got to do some road improvements. Very muddy on the road into the camp, so I gotta pack the box blade. So we'll get that loaded up and see if the mighty 25 horse Kubota can still kick ass this year. I haven't had good luck in seasons past when I needed to use the box blade, because we were having some PTO issues with the hydraulic system. Tractor's a 1989 L2050, so I guess you could Google the horsepower if you want. But what had happened was we had not been keeping up with the service of the hydraulic system, and as a result, the filter got gummed up, and we needed to go through and go through like a flush about 3 different times and cleaning the filter. So she ended up, this was what, 3-4 years ago. I don't know if I put a video about it, but she shit it out while we were trying to improve the road on the old side with a box blade. Like, got to where she couldn't lift the box blade anymore, and literally broke down because I couldn't lift the box blade in position. Because what was happening was the filter was blocking the fluid from getting back around to the pump, so it'd all be on the far side, overfilling the tractor, and it'd have to sit for a really long time in order to lift the blade. So I let her sit for a while. This is an old story, but let her sit for a long time. Got her to where I could at least take the pressure off the 3-point hitch. Got the box blade off. After that point, then I could load it and bring her back to the shop for service. But that was a nightmare that I hope isn't recreated. I mean, man, that mighty little tractor. She used to make me money. That was my first job, was land clearing, and I used to get the bush hog on her and me and that piece of machinery go back. I was young then, too young to even be hired at as a mini miner yet when I first started working that. And then following that, it didn't make any sense when I was in high school to get a job at McDonald's because I could make more prepping. I didn't do so well with lot clearing because the tractor's just not hardy enough, and I didn't really, at the time I was younger, so I didn't really have the balls to do it right anyway. But I did really well with prepping horse fields. So say a horse field had been left fallow for a couple of seasons and it was just too tall before they brought the horses in, I could get in there, cut it low, and I would make more in one weekend mowing horse fields than my friends would make in a month of working at McDonald's. So that's the story there. That's a little bit of my background. So anyway, now that the shit in the back of the truck is rattling, I'm gonna go ahead and knock off. And I think this might be my favorite Nirvana song, and I know Shafe likes Nirvana, so here you go. By the way, fuck you all.